Would you believe me if I told you that the solution to your sleepless nights, to that ceiling you stare at 3 in the morning, might not be in a pill bottle, but in your kitchen, hidden in simple foods that you probably already have at home, waiting to be used in the right way? It may sound counterintuitive, I know. In a world that seeks quick pharmaceutical solutions, the idea that a cherry or a handful of nuts could have the power to restore your sleep seems almost too simple. But I'm here to tell you that not only is it possible, it's the smartest and most sustainable way to reclaim your nights, especially after age 50. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 best nighttime foods that, based on solid science and my decades of experience helping patients like you, can help reset your biological clock and relieve your insomnia naturally. More importantly, I'll explain why they work specifically for the biology of a body that's already lived half a century or more. After all, you know that feeling, don't you? That moment when you wake up suddenly in the middle of the night. The silence of the house is deafening, but your mind is racing. The worries of the next day, memories of the past, anxiety about your health, everything seems amplified in the dark theater of your bedroom. You look at the clock and do the math. If I go to sleep now, I can still get 3 hours of sleep, maybe 2.5. It's silent torture, a battle you fight night after night and no one else sees. And the next day? Brain fog, lack of energy, irritability, the feeling that you're living life with the brakes on. For those over 50, this chronic exhaustion isn't just an inconvenience. It robs you of the vitality you cherish, accelerates the aging process, and can aggravate other health conditions. But what if there was a way to break this cycle? A way to gently and naturally signal to your body that it's time to surrender to rest? The truth is, the magic isn't just in what you eat. It's in understanding how certain nutrients interact with your unique physiology, which changes with age. And I promise you, the number 1 food on our list will surprise you, because it is often associated with other benefits. But its power for sleep is extraordinary and little discussed. Stay with me, because we are about to transform your kitchen into your first line of defense against insomnia. Let's start our journey with the 5th food on our list. One that may seem humble, but whose power lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. Oats. Now, when I say oats, I'm not talking about those sugar-laden instant versions you find in colorful packets. I'm talking about rolled oats, pure and simple. Think of it not as a breakfast food, but as a nighttime tranquilizer. The reason oats are so effective is linked to a concept fundamental to sleep: serotonin production. Serotonin is often called the happiness hormone, but it's also the direct precursor to melatonin, the sleep hormone. In order for your brain to produce serotonin, it needs an amino acid called tryptophan. Tryptophan is like the raw material for your brain's sleep factory. Here's the secret. Tryptophan competes with other amino acids to enter the brain. It's like there's a gate with limited space, and all the amino acids are trying to get through at the same time. Eating a pure protein source before bed, such as a piece of chicken, can actually make it harder to sleep because it floods your bloodstream with all kinds of amino acids that compete with tryptophan. This is where complex carbohydrates, such as oats, come in as real heroes. When you eat oats, your body releases insulin in a gentle, controlled way. Insulin has an interesting job. It helps guide the other amino acids to your muscles, but leaves tryptophan circulating freely in your blood. Suddenly, the path to the brain is clear for tryptophan. It's as if oats provide a VIP pass for the raw material of sleep to get exactly where it needs to be. For someone over 50, this mechanism is doubly important. Our body's efficiency at converting tryptophan into serotonin and then into melatonin tends to decline with age. Therefore, giving that nutritional nudge to ensure that maximum tryptophan reaches the brain is a crucial strategy. The practical guide is simple. A small bowl, about half a cup of cooked oats, eaten about 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. It is important that it is warm, as the temperature also helps to induce a feeling of relaxation. And, crucially, avoid sugar. Sugar causes an energy spike and an inflammatory response that is the exact opposite of what we want. Instead, add a pinch of cinnamon, which helps regulate blood sugar. This small evening meal won't weigh heavily on your stomach. It acts as a biochemical signal to your body saying, "The day is over." The raw material for your deep rest has just been delivered. Production can begin. Fourth, we have a classic drink that is often underrated or prepared incorrectly: chamomile tea. I know what you may be thinking. "Doctor, I've tried chamomile tea. It didn't do anything for me." And I hear that a lot in my practice. The issue isn't chamomile itself, but the quality, the dosage, and how we use it. Chamomile contains a specific antioxidant called apigenin. Think of apigenin as a key that fits perfectly into certain locks in your brain, the GABA receptors. GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, is the main inhibitory neurotransmitter in your nervous system. Its job is to calm brain activity. When you're lying in bed with your mind racing, it's because your excitatory neurons are firing out of control. GABA is the brake that slows down this activity. The apigenin in chamomile binds to these GABA receptors and enhances the braking effect, inducing a feeling of calm and sleepiness. The mistake most people make is using low-quality tea bags, which contain more dust and stalks than apigenin-rich flowers. For a real therapeutic effect, especially after age 50, when anxiety can be a significant factor in insomnia, you need a more concentrated dose. The practical guide is to look for Egyptian or German chamomile flower tea in bulk. The visual difference is striking. Instead of a mysterious powder, you will see whole, dried flowers. Use a tablespoonful of these flowers for each cup of hot water. Steep for at least 10 to 15 minutes with the cup covered. Covering is crucial, as it prevents the volatile oils, where some of chamomile's power lies, from evaporating. Drink this strong, aromatic tea about an hour before bedtime. It's not just a drink, it's a ritual. The warmth, aroma, and act of drinking slowly already begin the relaxation process. For the brain of someone struggling with insomnia, which is in a state of hypervigilance, apigenin is not just a sedative, it's permission to shut down. It tells your neurons, the threat has passed. It's safe to relax. It's safe to sleep. If what we've talked about so far on how nutrition can be a powerful ally in the fight against insomnia has brought you some clarity or hope, I ask that you consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like on this video. By doing so, you not only help me continue to bring you information like this, but you also signal to others who may be awake right now feeling alone and desperate that they can find this content and realize that there is a natural and effective path to healing. We've reached the third spot on our list, and here we have a fruit that is a true nutritional powerhouse for sleep: the kiwi. For years, kiwi has been praised for its vitamin C content, but more recent studies have revealed its impressive impact on sleep quality. The magic of kiwi comes from a unique combination of compounds, mainly serotonin. Yes, the same serotonin I mentioned with oats. But in this case, kiwi contains serotonin itself. Although dietary serotonin does not easily cross the blood-brain barrier, it is believed to have beneficial effects on the digestive system, which is intrinsically linked to the brain through the gut-brain axis. A calm and healthy gut sends signals of safety to the brain, facilitating sleep. In addition, kiwi is rich in antioxidants such as vitamin C and carotenoids. Why is this important for sleep, especially after age 50? Chronic insomnia and aging are both associated with oxidative stress. Think of it as a kind of cellular rust that builds up in our bodies and brains. Oxidative stress can inflame the neural pathways responsible for regulating sleep. By consuming antioxidant-rich foods like kiwi, you're actually fighting this inflammation and protecting your brain. It's like sending in a cleaning crew to repair the damage caused by poor sleep, creating a brain environment that's more conducive to deep rest. A notable study published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who consumed 2 kiwis an hour before bedtime for 4 weeks fell asleep faster, slept longer, and had better sleep quality. These aren't insignificant results. They're life-changing changes. The practical guide to kiwi is exactly what the study suggests. Eat 2 medium-sized kiwis about an hour before bedtime. The skin, while not palatable to everyone, is rich in fiber and folate, another important nutrient for sleep. If you don't mind the texture, wash it well and eat the whole fruit. Otherwise, the pulp alone is extremely beneficial. This is an incredibly simple nighttime habit to adopt. I remember one patient, Sophia, a 58-year-old teacher who suffered from maintenance insomnia. She fell asleep easily but invariably woke up at 2 a.m. She was skeptical but willing to try anything natural. After 3 weeks of eating 2 kiwis every night, she told me something I've never forgotten. "Doctor, not only am I sleeping through the night, but my dreams have returned. I didn't realize how much I missed them." Insomnia doesn't just steal our rest. It steals our inner experiences, and regaining them is a profound sign of healing. Moving on to second place, we have a group of foods that I consider fundamental to the architecture of a good night's sleep: walnuts and almonds. They are true nutritional treasures, providing a triple combination of magnesium, melatonin, and healthy fats. Let's break this down. Magnesium is known as the relaxation mineral. It plays more than 300 biochemical roles in the body, many of which are crucial for sleep. First, magnesium also helps regulate the neurotransmitter GABA, much like chamomile, promoting brain calm. Second, it helps relax muscles. That tension in your shoulders, legs, that physical restlessness that often accompanies insomnia. Magnesium can help relieve that at a cellular level. As we age, magnesium absorption can become less efficient, and chronic stress levels, which deplete magnesium, tend to increase. This creates a perfect storm for deficiency, which often manifests as sleep issues. In addition to magnesium, walnuts and almonds are one of the few natural food sources of melatonin, the hormone that governs our sleep-wake cycle. Our body's production of melatonin declines significantly after age 40 and 50. That's why our biological clock can become so out of whack. Supplementing with a dietary source of melatonin is like winding up a clock that's slowing down. The healthy fats in these foods also play a role by helping to stabilize blood sugar overnight. A sharp drop in blood sugar in the middle of the night can cause a spike in cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones, which is one of the main reasons why people wake up suddenly at 3 or 4 in the morning. A small handful of walnuts or almonds provides slow-release energy, preventing this trigger. The practical guide is to consume a small handful, about 30 grams, 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. More than that can be heavy on the digestion. It is important that they are raw and unsalted. Salt can raise blood pressure and thirst, disrupting sleep. Walnuts are particularly rich in melatonin, while almonds are an excellent source of magnesium. You can alternate between them or mix the two. Think of this small snack not as food, but as a nighttime dose of muscle relaxants and hormone regulators provided by nature. It's a way of telling your body and mind that the fight is over and that surrendering to sleep is welcome and safe. Now I'd like to pause and listen to you. Which part of this conversation did you relate to most? Was it the description of the racing mind in the middle of the night, the frustration of trying solutions that didn't work, or perhaps the hope that something as simple as food could really make a difference? Share your experience in the comments below. Reading each other's stories reminds us that we are not alone on this journey. Your story may be exactly what someone else needs to read to feel understood and keep hope alive. And now we come to the number one food on our list. The one I promised might surprise you. It's something that many people consume, but usually in the wrong way or without understanding its true potential for deep sleep. The number one nighttime food for naturally curing insomnia, especially after age 50, is cherries. More specifically tart cherries, ideally in the form of concentrated juice with no added sugar. Why are tart cherries so powerful? They stand out for two main reasons that make them superior to almost any other food for sleep. First, they are one of the richest and most potent natural sources of melatonin. We're talking about a bioavailable amount that can significantly impact melatonin levels in your body. As we've already discussed, decreased melatonin production is one of the hallmarks of aging and a root cause of insomnia in older people. Consuming tart cherry juice is like taking a melatonin supplement, but in a completely natural form and accompanied by other beneficial compounds. But here's the second factor, the one that really makes them unique and that many people are unaware of. Tart cherries contain compounds called proanthocyanidins. These substances have a fascinating function. They inhibit an enzyme in your body that breaks down tryptophan. Remember our friend tryptophan, the raw material for serotonin and melatonin? Normally, some of the tryptophan you consume is diverted to other functions and wasted before it can be used to produce sleep hormones. Tart cherries essentially protect tryptophan. They ensure that more tryptophan remains available to be converted into serotonin and melatonin. So they work on two fronts. Not only do they provide melatonin directly, but they also increase your body's ability to produce its own melatonin. It's an incredibly smart two-pronged strategy. It's like giving someone money and teaching them a skill to earn more money at the same time. The effect is cumulative and much more powerful. In addition, tart cherries are potent anti-inflammatories. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a common factor in age-related insomnia and other health conditions. By reducing inflammation, you are calming your body on a systemic level, which creates the ideal conditions for restorative sleep. Several clinical studies have confirmed these effects. A study from Louisiana State University, for example, found that older adults with insomnia who drank tart cherry juice twice a day for 2 weeks increased their sleep time by an impressive 84 minutes per night. Think about what nearly an hour and a half of extra quality sleep would do for your energy, mood, and health. The practical guideline is to consume about 30 milliliters of concentrated tart cherry juice diluted in a little water, about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. It is important to look for a juice that is 100% pure, with no added sugars, preservatives, or other fruit juices to make the product cheaper. The dose can be adjusted, starting with a smaller dose and observing how your body responds. This is not a trick. It is a targeted biochemical intervention. It is using nature's intelligence to correct an imbalance that time has created in your body. Sour cherries not only help you fall asleep, they help restructure your night, promoting deeper, less fragmented sleep, which is exactly what the brains and bodies of people over 50 need most to repair and rejuvenate. When we look at these 5 powerful foods, oats, chamomile tea, kiwi, walnuts, and finally sour cherries, a clear pattern emerges. Each offers a unique piece to the sleep puzzle. We have complex carbohydrates to facilitate the entry of tryptophan into the brain, calming agents such as apigenin and magnesium to slow down the mind, antioxidants to fight brain inflammation, and direct melatonin and tryptophan protectors to regulate our biological clock. The beauty of this approach is that it is synergistic. The effect of combining some of these habits is much greater than the sum of their parts. A bowl of oatmeal with some nuts, followed by chamomile tea, and maybe a little cherry juice. That's a nutritional symphony for sleep. However, I know what you may be thinking right now. Doctor, that all makes perfect sense, but it sounds complicated. I need to buy the right cherry juice, chamomile flowers in bulk, unsalted nuts, prepare the oats at the right time. With the life I lead, organizing all of this every night could become another source of stress instead of relief. And you would be absolutely right to think so. Consistency is the key to success, and complexity is the enemy of consistency. The gap between knowing what to do and being able to do it consistently, night after night, is where most people fail. It is precisely because of this gap in convenience and consistency that many of my patients ask me for a more integrated solution. They want the benefits of all these compounds, but in a simple, reliable, and precise form. A truly effective and practical solution for insomnia after 50, based on everything we've discussed, would need to meet 3 fundamental criteria. First, synergy. The ingredients must not only be present, but combined in such a way that one enhances the effect of the other. Second, precise dosage. The amount of each component must be exact for a therapeutic effect, as too little is ineffective and too much can be counterproductive. Third, purity and bioavailability. The ingredients must be of the highest quality and in a form that the body can easily absorb and utilize. To save you the work of research, trial and error, and the risk of investing in low-quality products, I have curated this list for you. Over the years, I have analyzed countless approaches and formulations. There is a protocol that encapsulates these principles of synergy, dosage, and purity in a smart and safe way. It is my personal recommendation for anyone looking for a complete and reliable solution that goes beyond isolated tips. I feel totally comfortable recommending it because it is aligned with the same science we share here today. To make it easy, I've included a direct link for you to check out in the description below this video and also pinned in the first comment. Consider this not as a product, but as a reliable shortcut, a way to ensure you're giving your body exactly what it needs in the most effective way possible, night after night. Now, it's my duty as a doctor to be completely transparent and responsible. The nutritional approach we have discussed is safe for the vast majority of people. However, there are some situations that require caution. If you have diabetes, it is especially important to monitor your blood sugar levels when introducing new foods into your nighttime routine, even complex carbohydrates such as oats, and to ensure that any juices, such as cherry juice, are absolutely sugar-free. People taking anticoagulant medications should talk to their doctor before significantly increasing their intake of foods rich in certain compounds, such as those found in some herbal teas or concentrated juices, as interactions, although rare, are possible. If you have a nut allergy, this option should obviously be avoided and replaced. And in general, if you have a chronic medical condition or take prescription medications regularly, a quick chat with your doctor or pharmacist to ensure there are no contraindications is always the most prudent course of action. My mission is to empower you with knowledge, and part of that power comes from making informed and safe decisions for your individual health. Responsibility is a pillar of trust, and your well-being is my priority. At the end of our conversation today, I want you to feel not only informed, but truly hopeful. The insomnia that robs you of your nights doesn't have to be a life sentence, especially not at this stage of your life, which should be one of fulfillment and vitality. You are not broken. Your body has not betrayed you. It is simply sending signals, asking for the right resources to do the job it was designed to do: rest, repair, and rejuvenate. Nature, in its immense wisdom, has placed these resources within our reach, in simple, accessible foods. The power to transform your nights is literally in your hands. Start small. Choose one of the foods we discussed today. Incorporate it into your nighttime routine, not as a chore, but as an act of self-care, a gift you give yourself at the end of each day. Notice how your body responds. Feel the subtle calm that begins to settle in. Reclaiming control over your sleep is reclaiming control over your life. It's ensuring that your days are lived with clarity, energy, and joy rather than under the shadow of exhaustion. You deserve peaceful nights and energetic days. The journey to reclaim them starts now, with your next meal. If this conversation has brought you value and a new perspective, please subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together. And share this video with someone you love who may be fighting the same silent battle in the dark. Sometimes, the right information at the right time can be the beacon that guides someone back to the light. Thank you so much for your time and your trust. Sleep well.